Are you enjoying the festival so far? Yes, it's quite big, spread out through the forest, from the edge of town and almost to the lake. It's pretty, isn't it? With lanterns along all the paths, so if you get lost, you can always follow the lights and find your way back. You look a bit tired. No wonder. You've been on your feet all day. We can sit down right here and just talk for a bit, if you like. I brought us a platter of food. Just a small selection from the food stalls. You didn't notice them. They're just over there, on the road back to town. Yes, on the left. I've brought us some roasted walnuts, freshly baked acorn bread with butter and cheese, white and brown, honey glazed figs, and succulent wild mushroom skewers, and a couple of berry-infused drinks. Yes, with bubbles and alcohol. This one is strawberry, and that one is a mix of forest fruits. Go on, you can pick first. I also got a small jar of cloudberries with cream. Those are quite rare. They only grow in a few remote places on the mountain plateau far to the east. Only the most dedicated of our hunters wander out that far. Go on, help yourself. Did you enter the lottery earlier? No. Well, you should have. The prices are quite nice. Clothes or embroidered fabrics, food, jewelry, lucky charms, and books, I think. Here, take a few of my tickets. I bought plenty, and I think they've stopped selling them by now. Many years ago, my father won a blue jewel in the lottery on this very night. Yes, the one I'm wearing now. He was a silversmith, and he made it the centerpiece of this headband. He gave it to my mother when he proposed to her. Now I get to wear it on special occasions. Just past the food stalls, there are other merchants selling handmade crafts like jewelry, wooden carvings, intricate tapestries or paintings, anything beautiful or creative. This is a festival for celebrating abundance and plenty. Necessities can be purchased any other day of the year. Tonight, it's all about beauty and joy. And nature agrees. Everything is in full bloom at midsummer. The night air is heavy with the scent of flowers. They dot the ground like jewels. And right here, they're all edible. Did you know that? The tall grass over there with a red top, for example. It tastes a bit tart and fresh. It's used in salads. And that yellow flower as well. The stem and roots are quite filling. You've seen our fields to the south, but they're not that big for a town this size. We don't do a lot of traditional farming, and that's because what we use as the festival grounds tonight, from the edge of town and to the lake, is our forest garden, planted with edible plants, but in the likeness of a wild forest, with tall trees producing nuts and fruits, then smaller shrubs for berries and undergrowth for herbs and root vegetables. It tends itself for the most part and needs minimal care. It provides the town with a lot of food. Most Elven towns have at least one forest garden like this. I'm so glad the council decided to let you stay. You must have felt such relief when the messenger delivered that letter. In a year's time, you'll be able to apply for permanent citizenship. How do you like Anyatsari so far? It's a lot smaller than the city you came from. Less convenient, I'd imagine. From my balcony, it looks like a forest with one building here and another there poking up from amongst the trees. Even high up and with a good view, you can't really get a good overview of the town. Can you navigate it yet? Right. Getting lost is part of the experience, and there's usually someone around to point you in the right direction. Give it time. All the narrow streets and walkways, the small bridges crossing one little stream or another, buildings tucked away amongst the trees, and the sunlight that pokes through in little patches here and there. I've always liked how labyrinthian it is. It's very elven, I guess. Elves like to be hidden, tucked away. We like lush and overgrown places, with lots of little details and touches of beauty. And there's plenty of that, if you just stop to look. Have you found a little fountain with carved flowers and mermaids yet? I think you'll like it. You might want to bring your sketchbook and try to draw it. I'll give you a hint. It's in a little square, lined with white houses and red roses, in the northern part of town. not too far from the bakery where we had breakfast yesterday. Maybe you can look for it on your next excursion and tell me what quote is written around the edge of the fountain, just to prove to me that you found it. Do you miss the city at all? This place has a different pace. The human cities I visited were very busy. In Onyatsari, we slow down and take our time. Things take as long as they need to. There's no rush. We do one thing at a time, and with our full attention. We also believe that it's important to put space between one activity and the next. It's about being present in the moment. Do you like the slower pace? Or do you just think we're lazy? I'm glad you see it that way. I was a bit worried that you might be bored here. It won't be easy to go back, you know, if you change your mind. Once you're a full citizen, I mean. It's a long journey back to human lands, and your people might see you as a traitor. So I hope you can really settle down here, body and mind, and be happy with a slow-paced life in the forest. I know you like to go to the pavilion at night to practice Elvish, but you also listen to Asterian's readings, don't you? You must be familiar with our most important legends and histories by now. Have you noticed how a lot of Elven lore centers around darkness and light? The sun, the moon, the stars, especially the stars. We believe that the stars are ancient, that they contain the pure light of creation. Varda created the first stars in the dark, before moon, sun, or earth. Little lights in the darkness of night. When we look up at them now, they remind us that there's always hope. Some say that the fireflies carries a tiny sparkle of that starlight, bringing us guidance through life. Did you enjoy the platter? Looks like it. You've almost finished it. That's just as well, because the Dance of the Fireflies will start soon. Yes, there are fireflies all around us. They're attracted to the lanterns, but I'm talking about the dance itself, the event that the festival is named after. You've probably heard that elves are lithe and acrobatic, right? Well, soon you can see for yourself. come together. There is a small clearing in the forest. When the festival draws to an end, everyone goes there. We lay down in the grass on warm blankets laid out for us and look up. In the middle of our field of vision, we'll have the night sky with the stars glittering like tiny fireflies very far away. And around the edge of our field of vision, we'll see the canopies of all the trees surrounding the clearing, with lanterns in them, like here. And then, some of our best dancers will perform in the air above us. Acrobatics combined with a bit of levitation magic. They'll move in intricate patterns with little mage lights attached to their hands and feet. Like fireflies or moving stars, they create patterns, a living kaleidoscope in the air above us. Sometimes, when you lie down on your back and look up at the sky, it's like the limits between your body and the world around you fade away. Your sense of gravity, of left and right, up and down, disappears. You cannot feel directions like you usually do, but there might be a feeling of falling upwards into the sky. If you manage to call forth such a feeling and then see elves dancing in the air above you, it's like you're up there with them, your body floating weightless and ethereal amongst the dancing stars. It's a wonderful experience. It's almost time. Come on, let's go and find a nice spot.